Hi there, and let's get to it. The next tool we're looking at will be the RGB Mixer. It's going to be a quick tutorial because the applications for the RGB Mixer are not very subtle, and therefore I don't use them very often when I'm grading. What the purpose of the mixer is to remix the amount of color data from one channel to another. More often than not, the usage that we get from this is stylistic. So if I decide I want to remove blue from the blue output of the image, the opposite of blue is yellow in an additive color space, so we're going to get this really dramatic yellow tone. Using something like this directly in a film might seem a bit gaudy or a bit over the top, but let's look at a few practical applications. For one thing, if you're working with motion graphics, which sometimes tend to have much more direct color channels, you can very quickly swap the values of the channels using the three icons underneath to try out a different color scheme. Another useful application is employing the green output for increasing the color of green screen for a cleaner key. Lastly, this is a really quick way of making your image monochromatic or black and white and being able to determine the individual strengths of the channels. So if I make my viewfinder bigger, you can see that increasing the red channel makes my shadows more prominent and gives me an image that stands out a bit more. Going after the green channel targets the tree in the foreground, and going after the blue channel will affect the sky, so I can make that darker and make it stand out in this nice dramatic way. The preserve luminance switch is part of why we're getting this result. Whenever you lower one channel, the other two channels will compensate for the loss of luminance. If I was to turn this off right now, my entire screen will go black, and I will have to increase the other channels to reintroduce some of this color, which gives me just a bit more mixing options as well. Alright, so that was a pretty simple one. I hope you found it useful anyway, and I'll see you next time.